Okay, my fellow Americans, I'm doing this. I'm doing this with the utmost urgency because I feel this is very important. I feel as to where this is something that has to be said, something that has to be spoken about, something that has to be spoken. And it's because I came across this very, very, very important information. And a couple of friends, a couple of people have mentioned it to me. And these people have had conversations with people that know, and I will keep it very confidential because it's a very, very, very serious situation, and I'm gonna say this very fast, so please pay attention. We're looking right now as to where Obama's gonna strike Syria, and in a matter of days, it's mentioned that he wants to go ahead and do so immediately, Thursday. This coming Thursday, by the way. And the thing is that the interesting thing is that knowing, of course, they know, because they do know, knowing that there is an imminent threat of a chemical threat on U.S. soil kind of worries me, because first of all, if you calculate or analyze current situation as to where first of all, because of my connections have told me that I don't know if anyone remembers the chemicals, the young man that attacked another man eating off his face in Miami, Florida. Okay, and that hit news everywhere, and yes, they blame that on bath salt. Yeah, sure, right. Well, guess what? No, it wasn't bath salt. It's a lie. It just said that for people not to freak out, not to panic. Sure, don't panic. That was a demonstration from so-called or whatever terrorists that have threatened the American government, U.S., as to where, because of all the interference and intervening and that's been going on, it is known throughout the American government. It is known that we have been receiving chemical threats on U.S. soil for quite some time. Okay. Now, apparently, we're looking at the final stages. Well, I'd say the final stage, the absolute final stage, as to where it is final that if the administration goes ahead and attacks Syria, we're looking at a full outbreak. Okay, and it's not for anyone to panic. This is it's for everyone to be alert. Okay, now because of conversations and calculations, I'm gonna bring you through step by step a series of situations that have happened, series of things that brings me to realize and come to the conclusion of how things are gonna be and how things are gonna go about. And first of all, I'm gonna start with the American government knows for a fact that there's a huge tragedy coming because first of all, they have built themselves underground tunnels and caves as a means and ways of protection or to stay away from something huge, great, and dangerous. They're all over the internet. You can look it up. Second of all, they have bought themselves thousands and thousands and thousands of bullets. Well, millions of bullets. And third of all, according to information which you can also find on Google or anywhere else that you look. Um, they have also bought themselves 13.5 billion worth of supplies, food supplies. Now you ask yourself, why would they need so much? What do they need this for? Well, I would say they're just gonna go camping. They're just gonna have some fun. No, heck no. Listen, what's going on is we're in the dark, and they know something, and they're not letting us know. They're not letting us in on it, but I'm gonna let you in on it because I know exactly what's going on. And the only reason why I'm not showing myself is because it would be not good for me to show myself. And once I divulge this information to you, it'll be totally up to you whether you want to believe it or not. If you want to believe truth, here it is. If you want to believe lies, then continue living your life the way you want to live it. Go right ahead. Have fun. Drink your beers and drink off whatever it is you want to do. Have your fun until this hits you and slaps you in the face. And it's going to do more than just slap you in the face. But here's another clue. All the American embassies have been shut down overseas. And if you didn't know this, well, now you know. We're looking at a major catastrophe going to happen. And if there is a biological threat on U.S. soil, guess what? I would think the best place, if it's terrorists that are, Muslim terrorists, okay, who else could they be? I mean, they're the ones that screaming jihad, believing that they're gonna go to heaven, killing infidels. We have a very serious situation on our hands, and to be running around and having fun and drinking and looking forward to every weekend, we're in trouble. We're in serious trouble, America. We're so much serious trouble. And I know for a fact that all the chemicals they've been putting in our foods and fluoride in our water was to only dumbing us down and to actually corrode our pituitary gland for us not to see and realize. But I've been keeping myself nice and healthy, and I have the vision, and I can see beyond all the facade and everything that's going on. I can see the truth, and I want to share this with you. America, we're being had. And not only are we being had, we're going to be taken for advantage. And while we're going through a situation as to where there'll be an outbreak of this chemical, which is very serious chemical. I mean, if you look and remember about the guy that ate the other guy's face off in Miami, it basically turned him into kind of like a zombie, okay? And I mean, you say, wait a minute, that's movies type thing. No, well, it was on news too, and it seemed as to where it was very realistic. It does something to the brain. It actually changes the mentality completely. It destroys a mental capacity, and instead of it just affecting our nervous system, it affects our way of, it just basically makes us savage, and it's very serious. It's a serious thing. And apparently, it's also very, very contagious. And so if we're to have that kind of outbreak here in America, and if you learn to understand what kind of enemies we have, the enemies that we have are very interested in one thing. It's control and power and the annihilation of Israel. And I include that because I'm going to tell you, and what I'm going to tell you could pretty much get me killed. And what's going on here is, this thing is going to be a huge distraction for us, because we are the country that if anything was to happen to Israel, we would jump on it. And you know I'm right. I mean, we'll be appalled and outraged if Israel's under attack. But if we're pretty much distracted with our own problem, kind of like an outbreak, then we really can't do anything else, and we can't do anything much for anyone else, especially Israel. And they're gonna have to handle their own problem. They're gonna have to handle their own situation, and that's basically what's gonna happen. If we don't wake up, we don't understand what's going on, we don't realize, while we're busy taking care of a situation that's gonna go crazy, Israel's gonna be under attack. Why? How do I say? Why do you say this? Okay, I'll tell you why. Because if you analyze very correctly, very, very strategically, every country around Israel has become recontrolled. And recontrolled because every country around Israel has gone through some kind of civil war, and now it's controlled by a whole different government. But these governments that control them are no longer the same governments that used to control them. The ones that control them now are the enemies of Israel. So as time progresses, boy, is it progressing these past few days, and it seems as it's rushing. It's gonna come like a flood, and I really hope that before all this happens, everyone gets a chance to hear this, because all this that's going on, the floods, the earthquakes, the signs in the sky, these are all signs to let us know when the world is turning against Israel. God is letting us know that His people's in danger. And we don't know how to read these signs. Come on. You can read signs of all kinds, and you see it's cloudy, you think it's going to rain. Come on. At this point, this is absolutely what's going to happen. And believe me, mark my words, that what I'm saying now, you're going to see it in a matter of days. And as a fellow American, Marine American, I'm letting you know that by what I know is true. Because see the signs. That's what's going on. And if we don't wake up, it'll be too late. And I'm sure, we all want peace. We all want peace. Of course we do. But at this point, this peace is going to come with a price. And if we don't hurry up and wake up and decide to take back what was taken from us, which is also part of the Constitution, we're going to lose everything. And even more than likely our lives. And I really hope that if you don't wake up, and you're laughing me off right now, really hope it's worth it. Whatever it is that's distracting you and letting you continue to do what you want to do, we all better come to God right now. Go pray. And after you say your prayers, and give your heart to God, go home and strap up. Because in a few days we'll be looking at it. And I want to say, God bless us all. May He have mercy on us. Because in actuality, since we turned away from Him, from God, we can't expect for Him to defend us if we don't look for Him. And I really hope you don't wait till the days get really nasty for you to turn around and turn to Him. Because you know what? That's what always happens. Days are gonna get nasty. And that's when you want to turn around and look for God. But hey, it all happens to the best of us, hey. Listen, Russia, China, Iraq, Iran, all you other countries hearing me, you know I'm right. And if you don't know, wake up call. This is what's going on. I may be inside, but it's more like the outside looking in. My third eye is awake. It's open. And after all I've been through, I know for a fact that there's an enemy out there trying to keep me from realizing it. Because the plot and the plan is to depopulate millions of people. Depopulation. Wake up, my fellow Americans. It's time to take a stand. It's time to fight for peace. It's time to fight tyranny and then establish peace. And unless we know what we're doing and what we're doing it for, we'll never make it. Come to God and then go home and strap up. God bless.